so glad to be here and to give a talk. And of course, for this journey these days, I also to be a student to learn many things from you, especially for the experts who have already given their talk. And I noticed the spread of apitherapy and even the living alive bees sting. This method has been spread to in your country, and even you link the apitherapy to the acupuncture, and this is very good. And since the traditional medicine can be combined with the with apitherapy and to make more good things for the human beings. Here I have one question. Is in China although it is very good for the people to have the bee sting therapy or other kind of therapy, but sometimes because of the standard and the apitherapy will not be easily be accepted by the medicine. So how about the situation in your country? Is it like you have been already allowed by the government, the apitherapy, like you can treat the people in public? Just a question, because we don't know your situation, right? And so he'd like to introduce that in China we have already written the bee needle therapy or alive bee therapy into the book, that it is allowed by the government. However, for the application, you always just a few provinces have already set a clinic or set some places to do the bee needle therapy. That is because we know the bee venom is firstly it is a mixture with different kind of bioactive components. Secondly, without if some people are very easily to get allergical to the bee venom, and if we cannot control the right points and the right dosing and even the right time, and it will make the person go to the heaven. And so not too many people can do that things in China. Or maybe similar to your country, not too much popular, but it becomes developing. It is developing. Like a story I've told you this morning. I noticed the bee. I used the bee needle therapy to my mom and to cure her. But sometimes I cannot cure other people in this way because the dangerous conditions and different personal conditions. So like today, I noticed that almost all of you stay here and even pass the night, pass the lunch, and to listen about the apitherapy, and we discuss and talk and to learn from each other. And it is similar to the situation in China when we have some lectures, some conference, and when we begin to talk about apitherapy. And not only the experts and the doctors will discuss together, but also the audience feel they are very interested to those topics.
抢救的过程中，他们不了解这个温度的特性，抢救了误诊了。很多昆虫把它蛰完，抢救完还能活的，送到医院去抢救，一个晚上，第二天就报销了。这个就是一个对它的了解吧。
And for the dangerous cases, I'd like to talk about two cases. One case is that is our famous doctor in apitherapy field in China. It is he is in business in apitherapy more than 40 years. and he has a good son and also do the apitherapy. But one day his son suffered the one bee sting, and then he suffered suddenly get the special allergic, and then go to the heaven and died at once. And but since it is his father, that famous doctor knows it is the bee sting who caused the death, so he feel very shame, and but sometimes we know it's just the bee sting caused it, but always he dies because of the special allergy. So he cannot tell other people because he think the apitherapy, the alive bee sting, is very useful for the human beings, but my son was died sometimes because of that. So it is very hard to explain that. And another case is for Professor Miao's wife, Professor Wu. She has also suffered the special allergy. That day, we know the you know the acupoints, and the acupoints 足三里 SP 36 or 36, yeah. And after she get the bee sting on that acupoint, and suddenly at once he stopped and lay down, and even be red and purple and all the face. You can ask him whether it is true. And luckily Professor Miao. Professor Miao always go business before, and luckily at that time he gets the telephone, and then he fly to the hospital, to the apitherapy hospital, because his home is very near to the apitherapy hospital, and then he helped her to go to the ambulance and to another public hospital. And after that, the doctors helped her to get some, to let the blood pressure become higher, because that days he has very weak breath and a very weak blood pressure, and they use like dopamine, and use dopamine and to wish to rise his blood pressure. And after about 16 hours, with the dopamine injection with that bottle, and to get into the body, and but nothing has been changed. She was still lay on the bed and with very weak blood pressure. And Professor Miao decided to stop the injection, stop it, and he told to the doctor, I didn't want my wife to do that thing. And the doctor says, you cannot do that thing because we are doctors, and what you said will make your wife become worse. And Professor Miao said, I'm the dean of the apitherapy hospital. And the doctor says, you are the doctor in apitherapy hospital. You go out. It is our hospital. And then Professor Miao said, I'm his husband. That time, and the doctor thinks twice and say, okay, you are the husband, and you must signature. And if anything happens, all of the duties, all of good or all of the bad things, you master on your shoulder. And so Professor Miao's signature his name and stopped the injection. And slowly, and the blood pressure becomes back. That is because the dopamine accounted a high. Accounted high in the venom. Like the venom has the dopamine. So we know if the dopamine is in a light dose, in a few doses, in a small dose, and it will make the blood pressure high. But if you inject a high dose of dopamine, it will make your blood pressure low. Done, yes, done. But the doctors, they don't know. The public doctors don't know clearly about Bivina. They didn't research about Bivina, and so it is Professor Miao, because he knows some things in the Bivina, so he saved his wife's life that time. But he'd like to say, sometimes the dangers, the accident will happen in around your life and around you. And Professor Miao also has helped the apitherapy doctors, like for sometimes sometimes some cases need to be judged, and the case is always like the person gets the bee sting and then was sent to the public hospital. And in the apitherapy hospital, although he is not okay, but after he go to the hospital, he dies in the public hospital. So the relatives of the patients want to put them, both of them, into the judge, and the apitherapy doctor, and for the lawyer, and they didn't know who need to responsible for this case, and so they asked Professor Miao, and Professor Miao just proved that in Bivina there's no fatal things, but maybe if you didn't know how to use it, like if the doctors didn't know the dopamine in the Bivina, and you may misuse of the other dopamine. So after that, the apitherapy doctor will sometimes get be safe, and always not always, like Professor Miao just tell the government, tell them the true things, and so how to judge it by them, and he like to say it is sometimes dangerous, not only for the patients but also for the doctors who use the apitherapy to treat disease. And always, if a person be allergical to Bivina, always the doctor can treat him, like use a small dose of Bivina and many times, and with small dose of bee sting, and then after maybe a long time, and he will be not allergical to Bivina. Besides, another phenomenon is after long time use of Bivina or bee sting, and maybe one day suddenly you will be allergical the whole body. It is because like for this picture we have talked this morning. At first you have the medicine. At first you get the bee sting, and the medicine will cover the cells, and then with the too much medicine come into your body, and all the cells, not all, but many cells be covered with the medicine, and then the immune system will alarm that something's wrong with your body, and then all the things can be changed, that you get the person who has never been allergical to the Bivina becomes very seriously allergical to Bivina. And another case is a beekeeper an old beekeeper in Shandong province in China. The first time he come to Fuzhou, to our college, of course in our college we keep bees, and then he want to see the bees in our college, and he opened the bee box, and then one bee sting at the middle of his head, and then suddenly he lay down. And after he's recovered, and he said, the toxicity of bee venom in bee venom's king's beehives is very, very strong. Professor Miao is the bee venom king in China because he studied about bee venom very much in China. And so Professor Miao said it is not because of the strong bees in our college. The bees always has the same, have the almost the same dose of bee venom, and so it is just he come from another place and he stay here and without a good rest, and the enzyme and the environment outside has been changed, and so his body will be must be adapted to the new environment. So immune system will be changed, and then after the one thing, and the things will the allergical reaction will be happen. And according to our experience, and such as Professor Wu, because Professor Wu has suffered a serious allergical reaction, and he is very afraid to get the bee sting again. And but sometimes because they also keep bees, and when they go to the bee farms, and the master take one shenfengjing, because according to their experience, they notice that if you get allergical to the bee venom and you drop some shenfengjing and to on that point, and then the reaction, the allergical reaction will be released. And so till now they always bring some shenfengjing, especially when they go to see the bee farms. And some my classmates and some my friends in our college, we also bring the shenfengjing. One case for my friend is he suffered at least 20 stings on head, and of course itching, and very colding and hot, hot like that. And so we students helped her to drop many drops, at least 2 bottles of shenfengjing, at least two small bottles. And after that night, and she think, because yesterday I suffered too many stings, and I'd like to go to the hospital to see. I'd better to go to hospital to ask the doctor and to cure me. And after she went to the hospital, and the doctor asked her, why you come here? And she said, I was stung by bees yesterday for at least 20. And the doctor looked at her, said, no allergical reaction, why you come here? No allergical one, why you come here? You go back, like that. So it seems, of course, other cases also happen like that. After they get the shenfengjing dropping, just drop on that, on the points, on the sting points, and they become the allergical reaction become released. And so since we have talked many things about bee sting, and I noticed the dangerous condition and the dangerous accident, so I'd like to introduce shenfengjing to you in this way. And for the scraper, you can notice the design of the scraper, and if you want to know how to hold it, I can leave the PowerPoint here, and if you are interested to it, and you can copy it. And here he wants to introduce 3 main diseases that use the shenfengjing and scraper to treat. Firstly is the lumbar disc clinician, and I think you must know why the people suffer that disease. Always like this is a normal one, and because of the the long time use or long time position to a long time stable position, and so the discs will be a little changed, and like things between the bones will be come out, and then after the cover be be broken, and the things into the disc will come out, and then because the come out things will stand on the nerves, and you may feel it will disturb the nerves, and even disturb the feelings. The reason why the Bevinum and Shenfengjing can cure this disease are two parts. Firstly, the Bevinum, there are some enzyme in Bevinum, and so if we use the Shenfengjing or the Bevinum and to treat this disease, and the enzyme will let the softer things in the come out thing be released. Like because the come out things has two parts. One part is the softer one, and another part is hard one. And the softer part is because it has some acid in the softer thing, and it will dissolve the water into it. So they become bigger, and then the hard one will touch the nerves. And so in the Bevinum we have the enzyme to that acid, and so if the acid can be digested by the enzyme, and the water will not become too much, and the softer things will become smaller and smaller. And besides, we also have apamine in Bevinum. It is very good for the nerves. It can make good functions to the nerves. So with both of them, with the enzyme and with the apamine, and we can treat the diseases better. And in our apitherapy hospital, almost more than 70% to about 70% to 80% patients come here and ask us to treat these diseases, and even to treat the shoulder problem and the neck problem. And he has also helped to treat our president Xi Jinping in some years before. And he also helped to, you have seen the pictures this morning, he has helped to treat the volleyball players, and even to treat other people. They just, when they come to Fujian, and they notice this thing, and they like to try, and they think the effect is good. And he has also helped other players, and because there are many people who suffered these problems, and of course some players, some sportsmen, and even for we general people, for the normal persons, and so it has a brilliant future to cure these diseases and for the human beings. And for the herb zoster, generally knowledge about this disease is always the virus bite the nerves, and it is because of the virus. And for the virus, we have introduced that the Shenfengjing and all the Bevinum can treat the virus diseases. And secondly, I'd like to see, I think for you, if you have some clinical experience about these diseases, it is always that the person who suffered the herb zoster always be very sad and feel very painful, and even don't want to live, because of after these things become after this active period, and they notice the nerves very, and they notice it pains heavily, it hurts heavily, because the virus biting on the nerves, and the nerves cannot cross the signal easily. So the nerves will, so the brain will enhance the nerves cross. And then if the nerve cannot cross the signal easily, and it will also have a P material, and the P material tell the body to evoke the pain of the body. So if the brain cannot get the reaction from the nerves, and he will make a stronger and stronger signal to that nerve, and that nerve will after that the nerves will have more and more P material, which makes the person feel very painful. And the Shen Feng Jing or the beginner can treat that disease. It can release the P material, and also, as he just said, the apamine, and the apamine can make the nerves become better than before. And for the root is because of the block of vascular. And so when we would like to treat this disease, we cannot use a scraper, of course, because the gout, when the person suffers the gout, and it hurts very, very heavily. And if you do the scraper, he will, he cannot bear that pain. And so we always just drop some Shen Feng Jing on all the points suffer that disease, and always after one day, and he becomes better. And we have many clinical cases who suffer the gout and be recovered, be better because after the Shen Feng Jing therapy. From those pictures, we'd like to show how we use the Shen Feng Jing, and how we use Shen Feng Jing with a scraper. And for this picture, we still use. Maybe you think it is sometimes scary sometimes, but we still would like to keep this method till now, because according to the scraping, we can notice which points is more serious than others. So the most terrible points may tell the doctors he has suffered the diseases here or there or the locations. For example, this picture, we use scraping, although it is a little scary, but don't worry, because according to these points, and we can notice that in the middle, I think if you know acupuncture, and you also know the channels, and you will know these are the reaction areas of the stomach. And these are the stomach problem, and this is liver, and this is heart. And so according to the points, you see these are heavier, and it's heavily, and so the doctor can notice this person suffered some sub-health problems in those organs. So always, if a fresh patient come to our hospital, and we always do the scraping as a scan, and to see what's wrong with the person. And even if the person has suffered, maybe hurt or be hit many years before, after the scanning, we can notice the old hurts. So we keep this method, and maybe some minutes later, and you can have some volunteer. We can have some volunteers and to treat you. So, of course, in traditional Chinese medicine, we also have the scraping. But Shen Feng Jing scraping is different from, of course, it's, the basement of Shen Feng Jing scraping is according to the traditional Chinese medicine, but something's different. Like if you use oil or the water to do the traditional, to do the normal scraping, you will see the points will be released at about for about 1 week or more. But if you use Shen Feng Jing scraping, always just 2 to 3 days, and these things can be disappeared. Because and besides, because the Shen Feng Jing, the rhythm in Shen Feng Jing can recover and repair the hurts. So the people's not only their inner things become better, but also the skin or the muscle become better.
它的挂疗的话，其实也有一个讲究。为什么它的挂疗一般挂法是？一般我们都是以表泄法，从上往下，从里往外，顺着经络挂。这个是一般的话，我们刚才上面讲的椎间盘突出了，当然它都是中医里面都跟湿度痹症有相关，要把它湿度痹症要表掉。痹症的话，这种症状都要顺着挂。还有的人身体比较弱的、虚的人，那要逆着挂，要辅助挂。这挂的，一般这样挂板的话，哪怕这个挂板要一个姿势。你如果没有用这个手指，很多医生他这样拿的，你看这样拿是使不上劲，而且的话很多抓板的话很累。那这样一打就拿得很轻松，挂起来治疗病人也比较方便。
We do the Shen Feng Jing scraping with the scraper, and we must notice the right way to hold it. Like for example, always we treat the diseases from the up to down and to the inner place to the outside places. It belongs to the direction of the channel from top to the end, from the inner place to the outside. And if we use the upside one, it is always to implement. It is always implement. If the person is too weak, and we can use this way to from down to top and to treat the diseases. But for the normal person, always we suffer those diseases because we are too strong or so that we have the sub-health problems. So we always to do this way or to that way, and then to let the things go out and to relax the person himself. And besides the famous persons, we also have like those in yellow. They are students in our college, and every summer holiday, some teacher organize. Our college organize their students to do some experience in countryside, and those the students go to the countryside to help the farmers to do their scraping and to treat their diseases.
我们也有办不同的各种各样的培训班，也欢迎各位光临我们那边，就是相互交流探讨。我们去年还办过一个3A 的那个国际昆疗技术培训班，今年我们也会组织，大概在10月份左右。
And we also have organized some training grant in China. Last year we have organized an international traditional program with AAA. AAA is, I think you must know that AAA is Asian Apiterapy Association. Last year we have organized that program with them, and this year, if you are interested into it, and you can come to China, and we will also organize the training program in this October. You can see the PowerPoint matters and need attention. Besides, an interesting thing, I must say that Shen Feng Jing likes it is similar to the wine. If you make wine, the longer the wine stays, and the better the wines will be. And so, it is similar to Shen Feng Jing. And if we make a newly one, the function, the effects is not good as the very old one. And till now, if you have the Shen Feng Jing 10 years before, made in 10 years before, and we can use 3 to 5 bottles to change it, to exchange. And of course, some people be allergical to Shen Feng Jing, but at least the allergical reaction is softer than the bee venom directly. And but we suggest, we also suggest that if you want to do the Shen Feng Jing scraping, it's better to have them 1 to 2 times a day, and not too much times in a day. We have some cases that because they notice the Shen Feng Jing can cure the diseases quickly, and they feel better. So they ask his husband or wife and to help him scraping from morning to the night. And suddenly he noticed all the skin become destroyed, and besides even some yellow water comes from the skin, and they are very afraid. But according to Professor Miao, and he said, of course, because you have many times to do that thing. Firstly, the skin has been destroyed. Secondly, maybe the person is has a big trouble. So the yellow sweat come out. Of course, after the treatment, the skin might be rough and cracked, and even painful. But it is always good for the medicine to go to the body to. And the treatment can be continued. Always, sometimes the patients say, after I get the Shen Feng Jing scraping, my skin become black, and you make my skin ugly. But after 1 to 2 months, and they notice the black skin, the black skin go out, and the white one comes out, and even though the skin is as normal and even better. And now with the next chapter, we will ask some volunteers come here and to try the Shen Feng Jing therapy.
Silakan.